This is not a story of big moments. This is a story of time. Time that passed slowly. Time that tested love. Time that changed people, but did not change their hearts. Anya and Rahul did not live a perfect life. They had worries. They had struggles. They had days when things felt heavy. But they had one thing that stayed strong: each other. This part of the story is about growing together, facing life side by side, and finding happiness in small, everyday moments. This is their simple love. Quiet, real, and lasting. Let us continue their journey. Part 7. Time moves on, hearts don't. Time does not stop for anyone. Not for broken hearts. Not for unfinished love. Weeks turned into months. Anya stopped looking at the bus stop every time she passed it. At least, she told herself she did. She worked more hours now. Came home late. Ate quietly with her mother. Slept early. Life became routine again. But some nights, when everything was silent, Rahul's face returned. Not loudly, just quietly, like a memory that refused to fade. She still kept the notebook. She did not write in it anymore. But she never threw it away. Rahul moved on too. Or, at least, he tried. His mother got better slowly. Hospital visits reduced. Money problems never fully disappeared, but they became manageable. He changed his bus route, not because it was necessary, but because that bus stop reminded him too much. Sometimes, when it rained, he stopped walking. Rain had a way of bringing her back. One evening, almost a year later, Anya saw something unexpected. She was walking back from work when she noticed a small hardware shop, newly opened. The name board was simple. And behind the counter, Rahul. Her feet stopped moving. He was talking to a customer, explaining something patiently. He looked thinner, older, but the same. Her heart began to beat faster. She told herself to walk away. She didn't. Rahul looked up. Their eyes met. Time slowed down. For a second, the noise of the street disappeared. Anya, he said softly. She swallowed. Rahul. They stood there, not knowing what to say. How are you? He asked finally. I'm okay, she replied. You? Okay, he said. They both smiled. It was awkward, but warm. I opened this shop a few months ago, Rahul said. It's small, but it's mine. That's good, Anya said. I'm happy for you. And she meant it. They spoke for a few minutes. About work. About life. They did not talk about the past. Some things were still too heavy. As Anya turned to leave, Rahul spoke again. I'm sorry, he said. She stopped. For disappearing, he continued. I should have explained. Anya nodded slowly. Yes, she said. You should have. But there was no anger in her voice. Just honesty. I didn't know how, Rahul said quietly. I thought staying away would protect you. She looked at him. It didn't, she said. But I understand. They stood in silence. Then Anya smiled. Take care, she said. This time, she meant it differently. Rahul watched her walk away. This time, he did not feel regret. He felt hope. Because some love stories don't end. They just wait. Part 8. A different kind of beginning. Life did not change overnight. For either of them. Anya walked home that evening with a strange calm. Her heart was full, but not heavy. Seeing Rahul again had closed something inside her. Not ended it. Just settled it. She did not tell her mother that night. Some things needed time. She slept peacefully. For the first time in many months, Rahul stayed in his shop longer than usual. He replayed the meeting in his head. her voice, her smile, the way she said his name. It felt familiar and new. The next day, Anya passed the shop again. Not on purpose. At least, that's what she told herself. Rahul looked up and smiled. This time, it felt easier. Days passed. Then weeks. Sometimes Anya stopped by the shop to buy something small. Nails. A light bulb. Things she didn't urgently need. Rahul never asked why. He was just glad she came. They talk more now. Not long talks. Just small ones. About customers. About work stress. About the weather. They still didn't talk about love. One evening, Rahul closed the shop early. It was raining lightly. Anya was standing nearby, waiting for a bus. The same bus stop. Different feeling. Do you want tea? Rahul asked. There's a place nearby. Anya hesitated. Then nodded. Yes. They sat quietly with their cups. No rush. No pressure. I'm not the same person I was, Rahul said slowly. I know, Anya replied. Neither am I. They looked at each other. Not with expectation, but with understanding. I don't want to hurt you again, Rahul said. I don't want promises, Anya replied. I just want honesty. He smiled. So do I. The rain slowed. The street lights came on. This time, they didn't say goodbye like before. There was no sadness. No fear. Just a simple thought between them. Let's see where this goes. Because some love stories don't restart loudly. They begin again softly. Part 9. Sharing life, small moments. The days grew warmer. The sun stayed a little longer, and the evenings smelled of wet earth and flowers blooming on quiet streets. Anya and Rahul met regularly now. Not because they had to, but because they wanted to. They walked together through narrow streets, sometimes sharing coffee at small cafes, sometimes sitting quietly on benches near the park, watching children play, watching life happen without rush. Rahul noticed the little things about Anya. The way she tucked her hair behind her ear when she was thinking. The small smile she gave when she spotted a flower she liked. The gentle hum she made when she was lost in her own thoughts. Anya noticed Rahul too. The careful way he carried his bag. The little frown when he counted coins at the coffee shop. The patience he showed to street cats and dogs. Even when it was inconvenient. One rainy afternoon, they ran for cover under a small shop awning. Water dripped down the roof, forming small puddles at their feet. Rahul handed her his umbrella. She smiled, wet hair sticking to her forehead. Thank you, she said softly. You're welcome, he replied. And they stood there, side by side, silent, but closer than ever. The next day, Rahul brought her a small gift. A handmade bookmark. No reason, he said. Just thought you'd like it. Anya looked at it. Simple, beautiful, made with care. I love it, she said. Her cheeks flushed slightly. That's good, Rahul said. And they laughed together, lightly, softly, like two people who had learned to find joy in small moments. Evenings became their own little world. Walking, laughing, sharing stories from their day. Sometimes they spoke about their families. Sometimes about dreams they hadn't shared with anyone. Trust grew slowly. Understanding grew naturally. Love, though still unspoken, grew in every glance. Every smile, every small act of care. They didn't rush. They didn't pressure each other. Every moment together was enough. Every ordinary day became special. And in those quiet afternoons and gentle evenings, Anya and Rahul began to realize something important. Love doesn't always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it simply lives in the spaces between heartbeats, in the small gestures, in the patient waiting, in the quiet presence that makes life lighter, easier, better. And that, for now, was enough. Part 10, First Confession, First Fear. It was a quiet evening. The sun had just set, and the city streets glowed with orange and soft lamplight. Anya and Rahul walked slowly along their usual path. The air smelled of wet earth and jasmine. Rahul kept glancing at her. His heart was heavy with something he had never spoken aloud. Finally, he stopped. She turned to him, noticing the serious expression on his face. "Anya," he said softly, "there's something I need to tell you." She looked at him. Her heart skipped a beat. Part of her already knew. Part of her was afraid. Rahul hesitated. "I like you. More than a friend. I've felt this for a long time." Anya's chest tightened. Her throat felt dry. She wanted to speak, to say something. But fear stopped her. "What if," she whispered, "things change? What if this doesn't work?" Rahul shook his head. "I don't want to scare you. I couldn't keep it to myself anymore. I had to tell you." She looked at him. Really looked. And in that moment, she saw the truth in his eyes. Care, honesty, patience. "I like you too," she admitted finally. Her voice soft, almost trembling. Rahul's face lit up with a quiet joy. Not a loud, dramatic smile, but one that reached his eyes and stayed there. They stood together for a long moment, silent, holding this new, delicate truth between them. But along with the happiness, fear remained. "Life is complicated," Anya said after a while. "Responsibilities, families, work. We don't know what will happen tomorrow." Rahul nodded slowly. "I know, but maybe we just start small. Take it one day at a time." Anya smiled faintly. "Small is good," she said, "and safe." And so they walked on, closer than before, but still careful. Their hands brushed once, almost by accident. Neither pulled away. That night, Anya lay in bed thinking about him. The fear was still there. But so was the warmth, the hope, the possibility of love without hurry, without pressure. But real, steady growing. Rahul did the same. He thought of the notebook, the small gifts, the rainy evenings, and realized that love did not need a grand confession. It only needed honesty, presence, and patience. And slowly, they both began to understand. Love could be simple. Love could be gentle. Love could last. Part 11, Deepening Love, Shared Dreams. After that evening, something shifted. Their steps became lighter. Their smiles lingered longer. The world around them seemed smaller, because it always led back to each other. They started sharing little things. Morning coffees before work. Messages that were not necessary but welcomed. A song here, a funny story there. One weekend, Rahul invited Anya to his little shop. It was small, simple, and filled with the smell of wood and paint. He had organized it himself. Every shelf, every tool, every little object had a purpose. "I wanted to show you," he said softly, "because this is mine, and I want you to be part of it." Anya walked around, touching the shelves, smiling at the small plants he had kept by the window. It's beautiful, she said. It really is peaceful. Rahul watched her closely, and then, without thinking, he said, I hope someday we can build something like this together. Not just a shop, life, a home, quiet, safe, just us. Anya paused. Her heart raced. She looked at him, and for the first time, she let herself imagine it. A life with him, not dramatic, not rushed, but ordinary and perfect in its simplicity. I'd like that, she whispered, and they smiled. Not loudly, not dramatically, but in a way that said everything. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. They discovered each other slowly. Rahul's love was patient, steady, and caring. Anya's love was thoughtful, gentle, and full of small kindnesses. They did not need grand gestures. Every shared cup of tea, every quiet evening walk, every laugh under the streetlights built a bond that was stronger than any rush of passion could create. Sometimes they just sat together, watching the city breathe, not speaking, just being. And in that quiet presence, they found everything they had been missing: hope, comfort, a future that felt possible. They were in love, not because of fireworks or dramatic confessions, but because they had chosen to stay, to understand, to be patient, to grow together. And slowly, steadily, quietly, love became their shared dream. Part 12. A life built together. Years passed. The little town changed slowly. But something stayed the same: the bus stop where they first met, the quiet streets at sunset, the smell of wet earth after rain. Anya and Rahul grew together, quietly, deliberately. They learned each other's habits. The way Anya stirred her tea 3 times before drinking. The way Rahul hummed softly while arranging the shop shelves. The small things that once seemed ordinary became beautiful because they shared them. They faced challenges too. Work days that stretched too long. Money worries. Family responsibilities. But they faced them together. Every struggle became lighter. Every small victory sweeter. Because they were no longer alone. One evening, many years later, they walked along the same quiet street where Rahul had first confessed. Do you remember this place? Rahul asked softly, glancing at her. Anya smiled. Every day, she said. And every day I wondered if we'd ever get here. Rahul took her hand gently. Look at us now, he said. Not perfect, not everything we imagined, but together. Anya squeezed his hand. Yes, together is enough. They laughed quietly. Not the silly laughter of youth, but the warm laughter of people who had seen life, felt pain, and chosen love anyway. At home, they built small routines they cherished. Morning coffees on the balcony. Weekend walks through the city. Quiet evenings reading together. Occasional shared meals with friends and family. No grand gestures. No dramatic declarations. Just life. Shared fully. With love in every small moment. The little notebook Anya had kept from the beginning now lay on a shelf, filled with memories of small joys, rainy days, gentle words, and tender moments. Sometimes, when she opened it, she smiled and remembered the first time a boy had handed her an umbrella in the rain. Sometimes, Rahul glanced at her while she read, and they shared a look that said, all of this, every moment, worth it. And that was enough. Because some love stories do not end in fireworks. They end in quiet certainty, in everyday acts, in gentle laughter, in patient hearts that chose each other. Again and again every day. Anya and Rahul had found their simple love. And slowly, steadily, they lived it, day by day. Forever learning, growing, loving. If this simple love story touched your heart, please subscribe to the channel. More quiet stories are coming.